It sounded like he was ready to get somebody.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Okay. Um, click the Use Template button. So I'm looking for that. Open folder.
I wonder if this is that green button on GitHub they were referring to, and I told you to hit the wrong button
Oh,
when it said use this template,
uh-huh.
and then it said create new repository.
Oh.
Oh, I see. So then I guess that would create a new, like it would fork it onto your own account so that you could kind of start already tracking your progress and your versioning.
Okay. So should I do that? I mean, that's what it says to do.
Yeah, might as well. Sorry, might as well
No,
actually
no.
follow
No,
the
that's okay.
instructions.
Yeah. Uh, then select creative to clone it. Okay. So,
Can
go
I
ahead.
say something just real quick?
Yep.
On Nowhere, how do you get your profile picture to do that? Where the mouthpiece
It's a GIF.
looks like you're talking when you're talking.
Yeah, it's like a Discord Nitro feature. Lets you upload a GIF as your avatar that plays when you're speaking.
Ah, that's way cool. Sorry, thank you.
No
S-
worries, thank you.
Yeah, if you watch Bubbles when they talk, or Brandon's does that. Tobix is actually pretty funny because it kind of hops around like this and it looks like he's talking. Um, or maybe that's Brandon's. I forget. But they're both pretty funny. Okay. Shiny object. Zing zing zing. Okay. Uh, then then select create a new repository to clone it. SDK. So we went there. Cancel.
So yeah, this is where the whole clone it instruction gets really ambiguous because you can
Hmm.
like what we're doing here is kind of forking it to uh
Yeah.
your own account so that you have your own like fresh copy of it in a sense. But then we're still gonna have to clone it so that you have or like
On
a
my local
reference to it
machine.
on your local machine. Yeah, so
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. So
mhm.
should I just call this SDK7?
Sure. Yeah, I guess you would call it whatever. But if you were starting like a new project, you'd probably call this whatever that project would be called. So
Okay, so we'll just call it Fafo.
yeah, yeah, Fafo.
Fafo 16, because that's what this is, Fafo 16. And then create repository from template. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I need to include all branches? Should I do that?
Mm,
No.
nah,
Don't,
that's kind of
don't,
yeah.
don't do that. It'll copy the entire
There'll be
contents of GitHub.
a lot of history that you won't need
Okay. All right.
of development of the repository, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Create repository from template. Putting it in Fafo 16. Here we go. That just occurred to me that I keep making all of these directories, all these files on my C drive for every time we're in here, and it's gotten really huge. And I think just for a naming convention, I'll just call it Fafo 16 because like here's Fafo, ENS World, DCL Studio, and all that other stuff. Um, but I'll use that naming convention. So cool. Okay, done that part. Create your first scene. Make sure you've installed. Okay, let's come back here. Um, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to come to my C drive. I'm going to. I know, Skylar. Thank you. Here we go. We're going to call this Fafo 16. Okay. And then here, this is just, where I create the sample scene, I'm assuming. That's what it seems like it's having me do. open a Visual Studio Code window, an empty folder, select the Decentraland tab, click Create Project, and then
This is so weird. It just had you copy that template. Now it's like, okay, now start from scratch.
yeah, that's weird because I've already done this, right?
Yeah, that might be an improvement we could suggest.
Yeah.
But maybe it was like meant to be like a different option for how to get started.
It looks like they did a copy pasta and they didn't go back and proof this.
Right.
That's one of the things. Like from the very beginning when I started build, building things in Decentraland, like I published my glasses in December of 2021, and I was like, oh my God, they got to improve the documentation. So it's always been in the back of my mind. Like if I make a proposal, a grant proposal, it's to spend time improving the documentation. No shade again on the people that are there. There's like a lot going on, but I think for the year of the creator and from the creator standpoint, there needs to be that editorial pass of the documentation. And I know that um, I haven't been involved in a lot of projects, development projects, but I've been involved in a couple of hackathons, and some other larger developments, and there's rarely any time for that. However, with the number of people that are coming in, working in this space, this will save so much time and tears. So whatever, I'll add that to my list of things to do.
Yeah, that was like one of my biggest frustrations when I was getting started on development. Is so many things were documented from like a developer perspective. So it's like already assuming you know things
Yep.
like command line interfaces and how to like clone GitHub repos, and you're like, okay, I ran this command, but did it work? I mean, so um, yeah, that's always like something that could be improved in any kind of software industry. Is like there's definitely a big need for people who are good at writing technical
Mm-hmm.
documentation.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to make a scene then is the next thing, and then start editing the scene. So come here, create a project. Okay. And here's the other thing, like not everybody's going to be really great with English, and any translation of this documentation is going to you know, machine learning version of that. So it would be nice to see this is what the create project button looks like. So it's over here, next to this. So we need to actually click that. And then after we do that, then we run the scene. So this step may take a couple of minutes. Populates your folder. Okay, we've done this on Fafo a number of times. Once that's done, you can preview the 3D scene. So just by creating the project, does it create a scene?
Yeah, it should.
Is it the cube spawner, or is it just a empty scene?
Um,
We'll
I
find
know
out.
with six it was the cube spawner, so yeah, I'm curious to see. Or maybe it wasn't empty scene.
It would be nice. Like I understand you need to have a thing in the scene. Like even Blender, it's a cube, it's a camera, and it's a light, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it would be nice to just have an empty scene.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. It's like a good example because it's got an entity, a system, and like kind of a click event
Mhm.
thing, which is. But yeah, I feel like if I was first coming in, I would be like, oh, okay, so what can I get rid of here?
Yeah.
And it's like everything, but
Yes.
it's just kind of showing you how it works.
Yeah. Okay. I don't need to read about the. Do I need to read about the scene preview? No. This is stuff that we already know. Okay, whatever. I've got it up there just in case. So SRC. So it's now called index.ts. Because didn't it used to be called game.ts?
Yeah, and personally, I always thought that was kind of strange because index is kind of the standard in most
It is.
development for kind of
Okay.
where you start. Yeah.
Well, I know it is in HTML. It's like your
Hmm.
index page is,
Yep. JavaScript too.
yeah. I mean, that's like Hello World and all the other.
Yeah. So it's definitely a common standard.
Okay. Okay. Let's check on our friends. Project created successfully. Okay, so the next thing is run scene. Yeah, and this is a formatting thing. Um, it's like this should actually be step number 4 up here, but
Right.
it's in the document. So we'll click run scene. Oh, this is exciting.
I need to pull out my second monitor and do this.
And then I feel like so far the steps we followed, but where we're at right now, it's not entirely clear that there's a file system we're working with. Yeah,
Nope.
unless you're familiar with VS Code, you know that this file tab exists.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like, okay, well, I've got this scene. What do I do to change things? Hopefully, it goes on to explain that. Not knocking these guys. Oh my gosh, Nico is like one of my idols, and all these
Yeah.
guys in the foundation building this stuff. It's like amazing.
I think we could just have a blanket disclaimer at this. Is like we're not here trashing. It's like, I mean, this is part of Fafo. It's like this is the first time I think everyone here is looking at SDK7, right? So
Yeah,
these first impressions matter because any barrier to entry is going to be, it's going to be one more reason to cause somebody to bounce, right? They're just going to be like, well, fuck this, I don't understand it, and they're going to leave. And that
hmm
could be the person that develops whatever game, because they're just a tiny little threshold away from uncovering that knowledge, and we want them to uncover that knowledge in Decentraland, or working for Decentraland, or working on Decentraland, right? So I don't take it like that at all. It's like, as an artist, and especially when I teach classes and we do critiques, it's like criticism is a good thing. I think what people think of criticism when we say the word criticism is negative criticism. And everything that has been said so far is constructive criticism, right? It's like, it would be clear if I think that, so yeah.
yeah,
Thank you for that, Honor. And yes, Nico and so many people at the foundation are doing amazing work, and very much appreciate it. But could it be better? Absolutely. And that's why we're here. We're
totally.
here to get better.
Well said. And I'm sure most developers would say like technical documentation is kind of the boring part. So
Hmm.
it's kind of done out of necessity, and I'm sure we could all use a second draft
Hmm.
and proofreading at times.
I mean, give it to me. Hand it over to Odd Job. I would love to take a crack at that boring job of documentation, right? Um,
You're you're the hero we need.
um, Here, let me go to my Google Drive and go to what did I call it? Jersey. Is it jersey? Yeah, football jersey. So, um, Guillaume from Petaverse asked me to work with some of his students on creating a jersey. So these are high school kids that are learning how to make wearables and are coding in Decentraland. Um, and I've decided, I've gone through and I've just gone through all the steps. Uh, so I'm going to make a slide deck. It's like, having the videos are great, but also having something that will just like walk you through it, kind of like a wizard, an install wizard, because there's lots of little steps. So I love doing this sort of thing. This is me making a lesson plan, every single day of the week. It's like I'm always making stuff like this. So yeah, I'd love to take a crack at this and improve it so that it's easier to follow, and so we can get more people in that on ramp. Okay. Let's get back here. Okay.
It's awesome, man. It's so crucial. I'm not even being
what,
facetious.
Dub? I would be more willing to vote on a documentation proposal for you than what I just saw in the DAO. I saw something come up for 20K trying asking to improve the documentation for Decentraland, or I think it was show people how to build, but I've never seen the name before, and they took it down before I could vote no.
Oh, it's not a proposal anymore?
Nope, they took it down before I voted no. I clicked on it, read it, and by the time I voted, they took it down
Oh,
because they
okay.
knew I was coming.
Sinful's here reading our documentation. Quick, take it down. Okay. All right. So who wants to edit the scene? Let's go to the SRC directory index.ts in our scene. Already, I really like how this is how it looks. I got some sort of error message and then I closed it. So it's okay. So SRC. There it is, index. Okay. Let's run the scene.
They start you off with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Multiple files and stuff. I feel like that could be more confusing to a beginner than just the one file that it had before.
Well, I mean, everything I think is it's about handling expectations, right? So yeah, the fact that there used to be there was one or two. There was the game.ts and the scene.json file, those two things.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's all this extra stuff. I could totally see how that would be daunting, but if managing expectations by just, again, showing them this image and saying, this is what you need, this is what it looks like, and you click on that, and then it looks like this over here on the right hand side. And there's none of that right here. Okay, so change anything you want from this code. For example, change the exposition of the first cube that's spawned. So this is I think this is from an old bit of documentation, right? I think it's that copy pasta
Yeah,
problem,
kind of
because
seems like it.
this isn't a cube spawner. It before I got that error message and I closed it, it had the character, and it had that window with the options to add certain things to it. So
Kind of
yeah,
looks like it might still be a cube spawner, but it is broken up into more files now.
yes, yeah.
So it's not entirely. So it's not gonna be the same probably as what it was before. It's interesting that we have to do that export star from DCL/SDK now. I've never seen that.
Are you looking at the documentation?
I was looking at your screen there. It was in the index file. It's that export star from DCL/SDK. Sorry, I don't want to.
What line number is it?
10. It says it's
Oh,
there to
okay.
export all the functions required to make the scene work. Maybe that's just something that they need for the build.
Okay.
But man, that seems like something where if you remove that, it would break.
Yeah. So you think that it would be better if something like this were hidden in a different file, and then sort of like the tsconfig.json file, if they just put it somewhere in there where it's not open and accessible to the average user? Is that what you mean?
Possibly, or if there was some other way to expose that or export the functions they need.
Okay.
I'm should probably research more about why that's needed so I can understand uh, like what the solution would be. I guess I imagine that they've probably done that because they have exhausted all other solutions that made sense.
Well, I mean, this is called Fafo, so we could break it
Delete
and
it.
see what happens.
Break
Yeah.
it.
I'm not gonna delete it. I'm just gonna comment it out.
Yeah, that's
So existence, you may or may not know this, but the asterisk is what's considered a wild card. So if you want to remove all of the JPEG images on your in a directory, you can use the command to remove, which is rm, right? And then you do a space, and then you would do asterisk dot JPEG, JPG, and then that would take everything with dot JPG at the end of it, and it would remove it, right? So that's a quick way to, well, it's not quick because it has to go through and delete all of them, but that's what the asterisk is for. And then the next thing that Noah and I are talking about is just instead of deleting a thing, you can do what's called commenting. And if you see these slashes right here, this this tells the computer, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Is it's sort of broken it out into these things like spawn a cube.
oh, it's
Uh,
a UI now. That's interesting.
oh, that's what it is. Okay, I thought
It's
it was.
showing you how to build a UI too.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool.
That is really fucking cool.
So it's kind of like a builder in a different way.
Yeah. Yes.
I just
This
opened up
is
the
this
project and
is
it's awesome.
Go ahead,
this
Mariana.
is sort of
What were you saying?
right now. It reminds me of uh the builder they had in Cryptoverse.
Mm.
The
Crypto
one I just
voxels?
no crypt. It's called Cryptoverse VIP. It's the
Okay.
one I was. If you ever saw, I was testing it. I was a tester for their first time.
Okay.
They're not open yet. The testing's over, but they're having another one. But it looks similar to what they had. It was blocks and stuff.
Do you happen to know if they were using the Unity renderer?
Actually, I think they're actually on Unreal Engine.
Okay. That is something that the that is in the manifesto that they talk about.
For Unity or Unreal.
Unreal. So
That
there's a new.
that'll open the door for interoperability, won't it?
I mean, it's. I don't know about interoperability because my understanding of the stack is that it's a little bit higher in the stack, and interoperability has to do with maybe some of the lower level stuff, but whatever, not getting into the weeds. But no, Unreal is an open source engine, and Unity is not. Um, just to make it end to end open source, Decentraland is an open source when you get to the renderer. But anyway, so I've commented it out, Anor, and I saved it, and my cube is gone.
Haha. Interesting.
Yeah, and I wonder why my character isn't loading.
Ah,
That may be intentional, so you can see through yourself to build.
yeah. Maybe they made it so that it only loads in Web3 mode.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any. Interesting. Well, I shouldn't make that determination right now. Maybe it's got invisible because of this.
Yeah, it could just be a fluke.
I just want to circle back to you, Mariana. You were saying something earlier.
Oh no, I just wanted to comment on how amazed I am by having this visual screen instead of having to, DCL start it before you even see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
all I wanted to say.
what has happened in other Fafos is we've used this with SDK6.
Oh,
Not this exactly, but there's been the side to side. So if you install the SDK6 over here,
yeah,
um, you do get the Explorer here. You do
right,
you are able to see it here. It's just it ended up being rather buggy, and I just ended up not using it. So then I would do what you just said, like open up a terminal and then type in DCL start, and then it would show up in
right,
Chrome browser. So I would do it that way anyway because this feature for SDK6 just wasn't stable enough, and I'm guessing they didn't continue to develop it because they were working on SDK7.
sure.
Press E to spawn. Okay, looks like I see shadows of cubes. But yeah, this is nice. The very first FAFO session that I had, Mariana, was um, I had like 3 different command line interfaces open and Chrome and Visual Studio open, and it was like I had
Yeah,
quite the setup for OBS just to make sure all those windows showed up.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
I just got DCL editor like literally yesterday, so
Oh, okay.
for-
How has that been going for you?
I mean, I haven't used it yet because schedule. But
Okay. I'd be interested to know because I followed an issue with them because when I started up, well, here, I'll show you. Let me go to terminal.
I thought DCL editor was included.
See, this is exactly what we're talking about. So there's 2 things. There's DCL edit and
yep.
then DCL editor, which is what we're using right now. DCL editor SDK6, and then there's DCL edit. Here, I'll just show you. Oh, I think I have to do npx. I think it's dash edit. So what this starts up is something completely different, and this may crash my system. Is it starting? Do I have to do start?
I haven't looked at their documentation yet, but do you think there's like a different npm package for SDK7, or I wonder if it doesn't matter? Again, I don't know. I haven't looked at their new documentation.
Oh, that's a really good point. They have not started to develop DCL edit in
On 7.
SDK7. Yeah, it's only in SDK6, so I won't be able to show it to you here. But anyway, what this does when you type in DCL edit, DCL dash edit, it starts up basically an instance of Unity, and then you've got all the gizmos and whatever to edit things in there. The reason I ask if you've opened it is because um, I have weird display problems, and I think it might be a GL driver issue. That's what it looks like, but I send it to them, and they've actually asked me to give them some more information. So, oh, here it is. No, holy shit, it worked. It just taken its own time. This will be very interesting because this is probably not supposed to work.
I think it's supposed to be backwards compatible to some degree. So it'll be
Okay.
interesting to see if it's completely backwards compatible or no.
Well, it says not responding.
RIP.
I'm gonna close it because I don't want to max my system. Yeah, let's just close the program. Okay. So I'm wondering how I get rid of this UI. Maybe that's part of the game here.
I did see a UI.tsx file that might have the answer to that.
Oh, this right here. Okay.
Yep. So
Yeah,
interesting to notice that this is a TSX file, not a TS file, which means it's extended JavaScript, I think it's called.
Okay.
which is used by like React and Vue and some other reactive frameworks. So this will probably give us a lot more robust capabilities with building UIs, and it won't be as buggy anymore, which is making
They
me pretty excited.
so I can't remember if it was Peanut Butter or Fractalians asked me to watch. This was like an internal Foundation video. I didn't have to sign an NDA, but so I think I can talk about it. But they were talking about implementing. Um, I think React was the name of it, but they were giving a report to each of the other team members about these different tracking programs that they're going to start using, so they can track uh, um, bugs and user satisfaction. And but I seem to remember them saying the word React or that like that. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I should go back and rewatch that now that I've whatever. It was quite fascinating. And it was Fractilians, because she was asking me, should we show this to everybody else? And I'm like, wow, this is pretty high level stuff. I'm having a hard time. I'm firing on all cylinders, keeping up with it. Um, I think if you create a summary, that would be helpful. And then we just had the AMA where Ashley was talking about customer satisfaction tracking and stuff like that. And um, I don't know. I'm just really excited about the stuff that I learn at the AMA, especially this one, this most recent one with the Explorer team. That was last week, but whatever. They're doing a lot to improve the performance the of the client and of the Explorer. So okay, let's go back to index.ts. Download this 3D model of an avocado and GLTF following this link. Okay, and I'm still streaming, but
Hey, you're back.
yay. Oh my God.
System overload.
Yeah. I should
Hey,
actually.
Christopher.
What's that exist?
I was saying hi to Greensifer.
Oh, hi Green Cipher.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm just absorbing everything you're dishing out here.
There's a
It's
lot.
nuts.
It's a lot to take in. You know what? I'm gonna close my screen share and I'm just gonna share my camera because I'm doing my virtual camera from OBS. So maybe that will help lighten the load on my system. Okay. Can you guys see that? Are you able to see what's on the screen?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I downloaded the avocado. It's a zip file. There it is. So it asks us to get the GLTF. Okay. What do I do with it? Download model GLTF. Create a new folder under your scenes directory. Under your scenes directory, named models. Okay, so we're gonna make a models directory and put that avocado in there. So let's do that. Of course, I'm wondering if yeah, okay. Oh, I did it wrong. There we go. Okay. Next. Select the GLTF model. You'll see a tab. Oh, wait a minute. I went to the wrong place. Extract and download and place in that folder. Okay, so let's just select this. Bring this over here to the screen so you can see what I'm doing. I want to extract. And I'm going to put it in Fafo 16. Models. Extract. Okay, I extracted the whole thing. I probably shouldn't have done that. Okay. Okay, in Visual Studio Code, navigate to the Models folder and select the Avocado GLTF model. You'll see a tab opens to preview what the 3D model looks like. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's go. So we go to Models, and we select this. There are multiple default editors available for the resource. Configure default. This is so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. It beats the shit out of the, the Windows default 3D 3D file viewer. It's like never right. It's always fucking ugly looking. So this is beautiful. Oh my God, it's got reflection on there, environmental reflection. Look at that. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
I wonder if VS Code has always been able to do this, or if it's like built into the SDK extension somehow. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. At the end of your file, at the end of your scenes index.ts file, add the following lines. So let's do that. Let avocado equal engine and add entity. Okay, GLTF container, create avocado, tell it where it is, and then transform the avocado using the vector3 package. Okay, hi fiddle at the very end. So let's go to Visual Studio Code. So I'm going back to my index.ts file. Ooh, Noah, what do you think if I just commented that out with that? Do you think that would get rid of
I think
this?
that would. Yep.
Get rid of this thing up here? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Huh. That's weird that that's not um what is it? How do I look at the dependencies for GLTF? See, it's got the squiggle underline. So
hmm
isn't there a way that I can like open up the file that defines GLTF container?
So if you hover your mouse over it and then do Control
Hmm.
period or Command period if you're on a Mac, that should give you suggestions for where you could import it from. But I feel like you shouldn't have to if it operates the same way as the SDK6 did, where it just kind of okay. So it does look like it wants you to import it. That's going to be, I guess, a difference between the old SDK and this one is we're going to have to manually import more stuff that the last SDK would just kind of had context into automatically.
Hmm. Um,
Hmm.
Here we go. Well, that's tiresome.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I have some syntax issues here. So here's my squiggly bracket Oh, do I need to just put a parentheses here? That looks like that did it. Yeah, because here's one parentheses, here's the other. Here's the squiggly bracket, here's the other. Here's the parentheses, here's the other. I'm wondering if I copied it wrong?
I think that
It's wrong in
the,
here.
yeah, the
Look,
example might be
yeah.
wrong. I don't think that parenthesis needs to be there at all.
Oh, okay. So just get rid of this parentheses, right? Parentheses
Yeah,
right here. Okay.
yeah, it won't hurt anything.
Well, let's write tight, man. Let's not put any extraneous digits in
Right.
there.
Yeah, normally for a string, you would need to wrap it in parentheses. Where you would usually wrap something in parentheses is like mathematically you wanted a certain expression to be evaluated first or something.
I don't see my avocado though.
Hmm.
Oh, well, no, the UI not being set. Okay, there's my cube is gone. Oh, okay, just refreshed.
All right, so we're adding it to the engine.
Hmm
Line 26, line 28, we're creating the GLTF container with that avocado.
There's the avocado. Let's just check the. Oh, it's
Wait,
it's
something seems
capital
backwards
A.
here.
It's capital A.
Oh,
I'm assuming it's case sensitive. What's backwards?
well, with at least it's backwards from how it used to be in SDK6. Normally, you would create an entity, add properties to it like a transform and a
Hmm
model, 3D model, and then you would add it to the entity, add it to the engine, like we're doing on line 26. Here, it's setting this avocado variable, which is whatever is returned by engine.add entity, but we haven't really when we're calling that engine.add entity, we're not really adding anything to it
Yeah,
like
there's
we used
nothing.
to.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't have a variable in the parentheses. Is that? And you're saying the order line 26 would come later, correct?
That that's how it used to
Used to
be.
be. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It, I guess if this is the way they're doing it now, it's just not entirely clear to me what is happening here. Why we need to add entity first and then create things on it. I guess so. One thing we could do is see what avocado is. So if you do uh, log avocado on like line 27, um, and avocado gets wrapped in parentheses,
Okay.
and the parentheses are like right up against log, so there's no space.
Okay.
And then if you save, it should tell us, unless we don't have log, maybe we have to import that. Hmm. Uh-oh. Maybe they've changed how we log things in SDK6 or SDK7.
Okay. So log, is that like
It's
cat
used
or
to
print?
yeah, basically like print out just a message to the console. So good for seeing, visualizing data that we might not otherwise have uh, an idea of like what it represents.
Okay. Well, here's a log right here. Function log avocado entity.
I think it might have automatically created that from the
Oh, yeah, it did. Okay.
the quick helper thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Hmm. Let me see if I can find how to debug scene log.
My alarm just went off. I need to go pick up. Actually, I don't need to pick up my kid. I need to bring them something at school for practice. So I'm gonna keep. Um, actually, Sinful, you still here?
I'm here.
Okay. I need to go get my kid. Can you take over streaming and somebody else, Mariana or whoever, wants to keep playing around with this because I'm super excited. I'd like to come back and keep going. But yeah, I gotta go. So if you're able.
Just a quick question for everyone for the room. Would you like to continue doing this, or should we hop over to the Dow town hall real quick? Because I do see that that's
Oh,
going
that's
on
right.
right now.
I'm already there, Simple. Do you guys hear it?
Wait. How do you get
I
your
don't know.
account on two places?
I don't know. This is the first time it's ever happened where it allows me to be on my phone and on my laptop. Maybe because I'm like watching Scott's screen.
Ah, okay.
This is new for me.
Okay. Then we can continue doing this then. Yeah. Who would like to share the screen?
I can take over.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys. I'll catch you in a little bit. I'm gonna